Hey, thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to be discussing my $100,000 Pokemon portfolio. I'm using it as a form of alternative investment, but also it is a hobby. I do have fun with it. So I thought in this video I could show my whole portfolio, and then over the 6 month period, over a year period, over a 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 year period, we could come back. I could make an update video, and then we could see what happened with all of these Pokemon investments. I'm not going to touch this portfolio itself. I'm going to leave it as is so we get a better sense of how this stuff actually grows when you don't touch it, when you just leave it and you don't think about it. Now, I will probably be investing more, so I'll create another portfolio for that, and I'll probably include that in the updates. But it kind of skews your numbers and percentage gains if you're constantly buying more, and then when did you buy what? It confuses what kind of percentage you can actually make in Pokemon if you buy it and then just let it sit. So that's the point of this video. I'm just gonna let this, what's now over 100,000 Canadian dollars, and we'll go through everything, what's in it, and how I'm gonna just let it sit and see where we get to from here. Again, I don't know for sure. It's kind of an experiment. I do think that over the long run, and it already has done this by the year I've been investing, but over the long run, I feel like this will go up at least over 10%, which is what you can expect from the S&P 500. Obviously, S&P 500 is easier to buy, sell. You don't have to pay shipping. You don't have to pay fees if you're selling on eBay or something like that. But I'm trying to make it as similar as possible by using a buy and hold strategy and not constantly trying to flip it, which will incur more fees and more shipping costs. So let's jump into it. I'm going to start showing my screen here. I'm using Collector app for this because it just happened to be the one that I started using. There might be better ones. I see different ones advertised, but so here it is, $100,925.73 Canadian. We're going to now look at everything individually. It does say up 13,136 in the last 30 days, but again, I don't know if that's accounting for me adding stuff and what counts, what doesn't. So I wouldn't believe this as much as I'll believe when I don't touch the portfolio for 6 months and then we come back to it and see the number. Then we can see the true gains. So we jump here and we have all the from low to high, everything. Now I did put some single cards here. I did put some PSA slabs. I did put sealed product. So we'll be able to see what everything is, how the single cards do, how the slabs do, how the sealed product does. And so we'll have a better sense of down the line what is the best form of investment and the safest form of investment. Now, I do think, and I think it's common knowledge, that sealed product is usually the safest, with some individual cards, if you pick them right, can outpace those gains, but it's rare. So I think my hypothesis is that down the line, the sealed products will do the best. But here we have stuff that I just drew in packs as well, and that I didn't even pick out to invest in. So we'll see. Maybe my hope is you can make money whatever way you invest, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so here we have some random cards. I won't comment about every single one of them. I do like that Arcanine, Hisuian Arcanine. I think that's undervalued, but again, I personally, like I said, I'm new to the market. I don't know how much it bothers people to add Hisuian or Alolan or some other form of the Pokemon, and if that ruins the 151 effect on them. I guess we'll have to wait and see how the market adapts to that. So you'll see some cards, yeah, that I just got from packs here and there. I don't think we'll get anything that I specifically bought until we get to the higher numbers, but I'll let you know when we get there. I love that Mabostiff. Again, not a popular Pokemon as far as I know, and I probably pronounced that wrong, but I freaking love that card. The art is beautiful, and that's what a lot of these cards have going for them, even if they're not the most popular Pokemon. The arts are really nice. So you see 151 Pidgeot V, over $3. Snorlax, as we start getting more 151, they're going up in price, especially with these different kinds of arts. So 350 for the Snorlax. Again, Canadian numbers here. Do we have a Lapras? Toedscruel, again, like I said, right now it's $5. And the reason I actually did buy this, I purchased this at a local store, was because I wanted to get everything related to 151, even of the new generation. So every new product, I want to get the 151 cards. Now, this is kind of 151, but you don't even have the same name. They changed the name, and it's a variant of them. So I just don't know how popular they'll be in the long run, but I'm sort of counting on the variants being popular of the 151. This Mewtwo card, it's amazing. The fact that it was a promo maybe hurt it, but so far that UPC is going up in price, so hopefully in the long run that card will be more valuable. I have a bunch of them because I opened a bunch of UPCs, left some closed, but opened a bunch when I just started collecting. That Grottle has been growing since I got it, but that Grottle, if that's how you pronounce it, is actually a really cool card. Looks really nice in person. Have some Paldea Evolved sleeve booster packs. It'll be interesting to see how that goes up. Right now it's already $6.42 Canadian. Flareon, I think that's a really safe bet. Right now around 666. Then we have Eevee, 675, and then we have Vaporeon, $7. I think those are very safe bets for the long term. Pyroar, again, not a old school fan favorite, but such a sick design, Lion King inspired design, it seems like. Radiant Charizard, I actually got that in a pack, but since it's a Charizard, like I really wanted it. I love the shiny Charizard look as well. Then we have the Metal Card Mew. That's also been going up. Glad to see that. I got a bunch of those. And you guys can see here the quantity I have and everything. You'll see even some Japanese cards. I opened up one booster box of Japanese 151. Charizard, this is also something I picked up at a local store. I feel like these will have room to grow. Again, I don't know how much because they were easier to draw in the Lost Origin Trainer Gallery. But still, they're fan favorite Pokemon, sick design. So I look forward to seeing how that goes. Arbok, another one I got. Remember, I like going for the 151. That honestly is a great card. I wouldn't be surprised to see that going up. And don't worry, we'll get the sealed products too. It's just obviously the single cards are the cheapest. Raikou, that one's actually been going up steadily since I got it. I think at one point it was even like $4 Canadian, if I remember correctly. So that one's gained a lot percentage wise. And that's the way I look at most things, percentage wise. Obviously, you want to make more money, but percentage wise is cool. You'll see a lot of 151. I have a master set of it, multiple copies of a lot of cards, including the Charizard. Oh my god, this sleeping Charizard I think is undervalued. That UPC, the Charizard UPC is going up in value, and this one I believe is the cheapest. But I honestly love the design. Obviously, you can't compete much with Mewtwo and Charizard doing battle, but I'm not as big of a fan as of the huge VMAX Charizard that comes there. I'm actually more of a fan of this one where you see Venusaur and Charizard taking a nap. It's pretty awesome. I'd actually prefer this one, even though the VMAX one costs more. Opened some Evolving Skies packs, and I did get a Leafeon V full art, so I have that here as well. The Mew EX promo, the most expensive promo currently from the Mew UPC for 151. Meowscarada, I actually got that one as well. You'll see some Lorcana in here as well, but mostly Pokemon. Like I'd say 95% Pokemon, but you'll see a bit of Lorcana and very small amount of Yu-Gi-Oh too. So we have Drowsy here. I bought that one too. That one's seen some great gains. Like I say, those 151 Pokemon have potential. There's that Charizard VMAX that people seem to love. It's sick. I just really like that sleeping Charizard and the Venusaur in it. It's amazing. Have 2 loose Evolving Skies booster packs. No big deal there, but we're starting to go up in price. Ninetales, I had to get that because that was one of my favorite cards and Pokemon when I was growing up with this. I gave that one away, but I bought another one to replace it. Umbreon V. This one blew up when we were having that whole Altart boom because of the Umbreon VMAX. Then we have Iron Valiant. I drew that one. Here we go. Charizard V-Star against the Mewtwo. You gotta love that. I got Espeon here, the blister. I had to get it because of Espeon. It just seems so perfect for Fusion Strike, so I do think that'll age well, and it has already. It definitely was less than $35 Canadian when it came out. We have that Ghastly. I needed to get that, and I found it in a local store, thankfully. Pikachu V. I got 2 of these. Love that card. Drew them both in packs. Now we have 151 poster collection. Ivysaur, you'll see Charmeleon, a lot of 151. Charmeleon I drew so many times, 5 times. But love to see all those cards going up in value. Umbreon VMAX, the Trainer Gallery one. We got Crown Zenith booster bundles. I actually bought that relatively recently because I saw, I believe it was at Walmart, a good deal. So for 32 per booster bundle, I bought 25. Or no, it was on the Pokemon Center, yeah. So it was like $32 or something Canadian. And then I bought a bunch at 25. 25 of them I bought. And then, so yeah, that's gone up nicely already. And I do think Crown Zenith is so old that it's well positioned to go up at this point. Divergent Tins, had to buy those because they had Evolving Skies packs in them, and also this one was the best selling, the Typhlosion one, so put 2 in that just in case they blow up. Got Paldean Fates booster bundles. Those I also bought for like 32 or something at Walmart or Pokemon Center or Walmart, but Pokemon Center might be more expensive now. But anyways, maybe could have been Pokemon Center. I bought them for like $32 Canadian. These ones have seen great growth. And I did say for a while that Paldean Fates is underrated. I think people are sleeping on it. Even before the Bubble Mew popped off, it was just so good. Even the shiny Pikachu and everything. So I'm a big believer in that set long term. So I definitely wanted to get at least 25 of these. That's, by the way, how much came in a box. So that's why I got it. 25 specifically. So we have some collections. Mewtwo, another card that I used to have as a kid, one of my favorites, so I had to get that again. Hisuian Growlithe, I bought this in a PSA 10. We'll see what happens, but I actually drew the other part of this card that we'll get to. It's more expensive than the PSA 10 Hisuian Growlithe. But I already had that matching card, and then Growlithe, like I said, 151 Pokemon. Plus, I already had that matching art, so I had to pull the trigger and get a Hisuian Growlithe. Sylveon V, one of the best looking cards in my opinion. So I have a PSA 10 and a normal one that I drew, but very good looking combination of a trainer and Pokemon, plus an evolution. You gotta love that. Alakazam collection. So these things were such an amazing deal. I think at one point they were like 50 Canadian at Costco for the Alakazam and Zapdos together. Now each is over $50, and the Alakazam one's over like almost $60 right now. So that's over 2x gain in like a month, so, or a few months. So that's absolutely insane. We got more. I know a lot of people like this Alakazam. I drew one. Blaziken VMAX. I think that has a lot of potential, especially if that Chilling Rain Blaziken VMAX has another run. The Trainer Gallery counterparts usually get benefits from that as well. Chansey, Squirtle, you guys know, like I've been saying, I want to get those 151 Pokemon. The Chansey is a PSA 10 and the Squirtle is a raw, so that's why the prices are similar there. Bulbasaur, for some reason, is more expensive right now than the Squirtle. These prices fluctuate depending on day-to-day sales, so it may be different when you see it, but as of now, this is what we're working with. Yeah, Charmander here. I like that all those happen to be together. Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander for 151. Galarian Moltres, that's a PSA 10. Pinsir as well. Random Raichu that my friend gave me, so that was pretty cool of him. Got these Paldean Fates Mini Tin 5 set at Costco recently. So it was like $555, so it's already above in terms of market value. So I just got 2 right away because, like I said, I love Paldean Fates. Zapdos EX, one of the most badass, amazing cards. I can't see this not doing well in the long run. You got Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos in a beautiful art all together in one card. Yeah, I drew these 2. Not selling them anytime soon. I think they're amazing find. Again, Paldean Fates, you guys know I love it. The Charizard specifically on the box, I knew that was going to be more expensive than the other one, so I got two immediately. And then I got Celebrations. When I just got into Pokemon again, I got the Celebrations Blastoise, Charizard, and Venusaur, and PSA 10s. I overpaid because, when you're new, you see eBay, you don't even know to click from lowest to highest price. So I definitely overpaid, but I remember as a kid dreaming about getting these cards and never being able to get them. So even though it's the Celebrations versions, I really wanted the trio. So I ended up pulling the trigger for that. Shadow Rider Calyrex, again, I don't know how popular this is and how popular some of these Pokemon are, but the design is so good. I love that art, like Sleepy Hollow art. Amazing. Love that Reggie Drago has a Lugia in the background. Blaziken V, again, I love that May is in it, I believe her name was. So I love those where they're actually popular characters from the anime, and I grew up watching her, so her in this card makes it way better for me. We got the Venusaur Celebrations, Horsey, 151. Eevee, I know that's going to do well long run, especially with the Prismatic Evolutions new Eevee set coming. Oh man, I'm excited for that. We got more Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. Some of this stuff I was buying randomly when I just got into it, but now I feel like I'm a better investor. I have more of a sense of what to get. 151 booster bundles. I got 37 when they were available at Walmart. I just got as many as I could, really. So that's why I have so much. I believe 151 long term will be an amazing investment. That's what got me back into Pokemon actually in the first place, and that led to investing. So yeah, I have the master set, but I keep all those because I think they'll go up in value in the long run. Lickitung, even this design I love, even though it's not that popular of a 151 Pokemon. Perrin, there you go. That's the one I drew. Goes with the Growlithe. Actually, very nice card. I'm surprised it held its value as well as it did, but we'll see what the future holds for that card. Some more Elite Trainer boxes. Binder collection. I opened up a binder to actually put my Master Setup 151 in, and these binders are amazing. I love it. I got one sealed, and I'm not surprised that they went so much above MSRP because yeah, it's an amazing product. Not only do you get 151, that binder is actually amazing, and they may not have even made as much because it's such a different product. And the binders, I'm guessing, are harder to make than just the cards. So we got more Crown Zenith. Again, I think that's in that sweet spot where people accept that it's a good set. It was overprinted and overly available for a while, but I feel like it's getting old enough to where soon it'll take off. Maybe it could be longer than sooner, but I feel like it's well poised time-wise to take off. Miraidon, absolutely love this art. Time will tell how popular this generation is, but that Miraidon, absolutely beautiful. Love the cyberpunk-esqueness of that card. Sleeping Pikachu, I got PSA 10s of it, 4 of them. I really believe in this card. I got it for a good deal. So long term, you combine Pikachu with Lost Origin, amazing set, with the fact that it's sleeping, which is a whole nother way to collect cards, like collect like the Sleepy Tyranitar and stuff. So I think this card has a lot going for it. It wasn't easy to get in a PSA 10, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see this climb over the years. Rayquaza VMAX, absolutely love this card. One of the best from Silver Tempest for sure. Leafeon, again, Crown Zenith, Raikou, Crown Zenith. I talked about this. I think Crown Zenith is poised to take off at some point sooner than later. And these cards, Evolution, Legendary Dogs, I think you can't go wrong with them. Pidgeot EX hasn't been getting a lot of love. This is a PSA 10. People shitting on Obsidian Flames. I absolutely love the designs in Obsidian Flames. Now, perhaps they're too easy to get. Perhaps they're too accessible. But the thing Obsidian Flames has going for it is the designs are a lot of 151 Pokemon, a lot of fan favorite Pokemon. Great designs, great arts, and they are hard for the most part at that point to get a PSA 10 because the quality control wasn't the best during Obsidian Flames. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing more than just the Charizard taking off, which that one has been. But this Pidgeot and Ninetales and Caesar, I think they have room to grow as well, especially in PSA 10. So we have Glaceon here. We have a Japanese Mewtwo, Master Ball PSA 10. So honestly, I know some people buy Japanese, some people don't. I really screwed myself over by not understanding that the Japanese market is different than the English one when I got into this. And I overpaid hard for Japanese 151 booster boxes and even these cards. Like I think I paid 150 for it. It's down to 105, which is not the biggest loss, but I got another Master Ball, which we'll get to later, which I've lost even more money on so far. Obviously, I'm not selling, but so far. And the booster box is like, man, they reprinted them so much. I paid like I think over 300 bucks Canadian for one, and we'll see what it's at now. But yeah, I don't think it's like 100, 150 or something. So that was probably my biggest percentage losses in all of Pokemon investing history for me. Not a long history, but I got burned off the Japanese and not understanding the Japanese market. So that's something to keep in mind. I definitely feel more secure with the English market. Like I have a better handle of it. Leafeon V, I absolutely love Evolving Skies. I love the Evolutions. This one I think is an underrated one. I think it's a adorable design. We'll see how it does long term, but already over 100 Canadian. Can't go wrong with these Stellar Crown Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. I grew up with Noctowl as well. I do like that promo. The Pokemon Center stamps, as we'll get to, I'm a big believer of and invested heavily into that whole idea because so far they haven't been like restocking those a lot. So I think they're much more limited, those Elite Trainer boxes, than the normal ones. And as a result, especially when quality control is not good, some of those stamp promos of popular Pokemon can really pop off, and we've been seeing that lately. Got Suicune, got Garchomp. I do love this idea that we're not even doing anymore because now we have those rainbow crowns going on. But back when we were doing this Garchomp and the Charizard, which was like a dark type, here we have a Garchomp that's a water type. And then we have, which one was it? The Greninja, which is a fighting type. So the fact that you have these Pokemon, especially Garchomp, as a water type, I think is a very interesting spin. And for that alone, I thought it was interesting to invest in. So we'll see what happens. But when else are we gonna see a water type Garchomp card come out? I just don't see it happening. And for that reason, I'm a big believer in these. Pokemon 151, there's now 122. So like I said, my biggest loss, I got 4 of them, paid over 300, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I've definitely lost. It's not all up, but I've definitely been more up than down. And if you guys want a specific video on my best gains versus my worst losses, I guess you can say, let me know. I could do a video on that too. Oh my god, this Poliwhirl got PSA 10, Drew 2 as well. So freaking good. Such a good design. Dragonair, same deal. Got a really good deal on that one in PSA 10. Mimikyu, Pokemon Center exclusive. Now this, if we go into it, I bought for 50 bucks before the Pokemon Center stamps were really catching on. And yeah, right now it's already more than double, but I've seen a recent sale. This website and most websites aren't always the best at keeping up with the Pokemon Center exclusive cards because they sometimes, their algorithm or whatever they're using includes non-Pokemon Center exclusive stamps into the same card category, and so that'll throw off the numbers. Here I recently did look at the Mimikyu PSA 10, and it had sold for over 350 Canadian at one point. It was a lone sale, but I saw plenty over 200 too. So that's 4 to 7x increase from my investment. So definitely happy to see that. And I believe in Paladin Fate, so that's another reason. And the Mimikyu is a popular Pokemon, a great artwork. I saw no reason why this wouldn't go up. For Paladin Fate's Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, very excited for this. Think this has a lot more room to grow. Think we've only seen the beginning of this era of Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes with their own stamped promo cards. I think this will be a way bigger thing down the line than people realize, unless they ruin it by restocking like very old ones like the Obsidian Flames again all of a sudden and they flood the market. But they haven't done that so far. All those sets are like almost 2 years old now. So the fact that they haven't done it yet is optimistic for me. And if they don't, all of these boxes and these stamp promos, oh my God. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the ceiling is. I think there's a lot of potential there. This Persian, absolutely amazing. I think it's underrated. This is a PSA 10. Noivern has a lot of things going for it. Great art in Evolving Skies. And also, this is very heavily reminiscent of Batman. And I love Batman, so I had to get that one. Here's Gardevoir, PSA 10, the most expensive card in the Scarlet and Violet base set. So just for that, it was worth getting, but I also love the story that all these evolutions tell. She's a fan favorite Pokemon, so I'm a big fan of this. Eevee Evolutions Premium Collection. So made at least double my money on these so far. Got them at GameStop when they were on clearance. They're trying to get rid of it. And at that point, all of these packs were already out of stock. So I'm like, okay, this can only go up. So yeah, pretty much doubled my money on all 5 of those. Champion's Path, Elite Trainer box. Some great Charizards in there. Pikachu VMAX. That's an amazing card, right? Whenever you have Red and Pikachu, just like that Misty and Starmie combo, or the May and Blaziken, I think those are very good cards to invest in. Miriam, just because at one point it was the best, most expensive Pokemon card in base set, and the first waifu card of the generation. There's even a Pikachu in there, so thought it was worth getting it in PSA 10. Elite Trainer box for 151, can't go wrong with that. That's made amazing gains. Scarlet and Violet booster box. So I actually recently invested into getting a case of this. I already had a booster box, but I just had for like 145 Canadian, I could get per booster box a case, and everything else, Scarlet and Violet, is way more. And if you look back in history, base sets perform really well. So since this base set is one of the best, I think, that we've seen in a while, and I could get it for such a reasonable price, I pulled the trigger. So right now it's already 154 market price Canadian. I could see it going up more, so a lot more over the next few years. So I think that's a very safe bet right now. Even if it's not the most sexy Pokemon investment, I think it's a very safe investment right now. I was lucky enough to get Surging Sparks Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, so I got 4 of those. Not planning on opening them anytime soon, but yeah, that's already doubled since I purchased it off Pokemon Center. All those are sold out now, so you have to get it from the secondary market. So pretty much it could just keep going up depending on how much the hype grows and how many people open them. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see that. The Celebi I love, the Rayquaza V. Paradox Rift booster box. A lot of people like Paradox Rift. I don't personally see a reason to get more than 1 booster box myself. I usually get a case if I really see the potential for it, or if I really like the set. Like, surprisingly, Obsidian Flames, I got it at a good price. I got a case because I absolutely love Charizard. I love Ninetales. I love Scizor. I love all those Pokemon. So I can really see that doing well with people like me in the future. And it's fun to open because it is easy to get those hits. Paradox Rift, I do like some cards. I got that Groudon. I want to get that Steelix, but it just doesn't have that wow factor for me. So I'm not gonna get a case, but I'm gonna get a booster box no matter what of every set that comes out. Stellar Crown, I got 2 booster boxes. I get 2 so I can open one if I want, but I haven't opened that yet. Galarian Rapidash V, a freaking unicorn, bro, and a 151 Pokemon. And the Chilling Reign is poised to keep growing. I think it's over 300 Canadian already, but poised to keep growing. So yeah, I'm very optimistic about this card. Ninetales, Obsidian Flames, like I said, amazing PSA 10 price, $165. Considering the raw is probably like closer to $10. I haven't checked in a while, but yeah, so quality control wasn't great. So Obsidian Flames is actually a great investment to make PSA 10 plays on. Galarian Zapdos, like Got a lot of Chilling Rain cards just because I am a fan of a lot of them. Flareon VMAX Premium Collection. These I had to get because I wanted every single one of these Evolution normal versions and VMAXs. So just ended up getting the collection here. We got Obsidian Flames, like I said, 174 Canadian. So I've got it for closer to 150 Canadian per box. And I bought a case and then I have another one from before. So already positive on that, but I can see it growing a lot more. Paldea Evolved Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Booster Box. This is just a no-brainer if you could have got it at the Pokemon Center. Unfortunately, I found out about the Pokemon Center afterwards, so I couldn't actually get this. It was already sold out. I got this on eBay, but at the same time, I did pay a lot less than 176. I paid like 120, 130. So I am up on it, but yeah, Paldea Evolved, an amazing set, perhaps my favorite, not counting specialty sets of the era so far. So yeah, you got that Pikachu promo, which I think is one of the best. It didn't grade well, so it has a amazing PSA 10 potential. So absolutely love that box as an investment. It's getting up there now, but congrats if you got 4 and sat on it for the initial price. So here we have Caesar, like I said, Obsidian Flames, underrated, especially for those PSA 10 prices. Jolteon VMAX, Premium Collection, Temporal Forces. Again, a lot of people pumping it. I'm not a big fan. And again, maybe it's because I do like the Legendary Dogs, but these different variants of them, not as big of a fan. So yeah, didn't go hard into that, just one booster box. Not really interested in even going hard if we get lowered prices. Just not a big Temporal Forces fan. Paldean Tauros, I got these for less than 100 per PSA 10, and then I got a bunch for less than $10 Canadian. So for this, I've already made money, but the thing I like about this, I love the design. I love that it's 151, although it's a variant of it. And I love the fact that there isn't a big pop report. So there was only, last time I checked, I can check right here actually. So 65. At that price for how much the PSA 10 costs, like it would be so easy to just buy out the entire market if everyone was selling theirs. And honestly, if I could buy them all for less than $100, I would. I think it's a very good card. So yeah, nothing more to be said there. I think Paldean Tauros is underrated, and if I see good deals for PSA 10s for under $100 again, I'm definitely going to take it. So Paldea Evolved Booster Box. Like I said, love this set. Went heavy when it was 150 Canadian available for that. I got a case. Absolutely love that Magikarp. Love so many cards. The Sleeping Raichu, the Epic Godzilla Tyranitar. So much depth in this set. Like I said, even the Paldean Tauros, nowhere near the top card, and yet still amazing. So I have a lot of belief in Paldea Evolved long term. Battle Styles I got because I got a really good deal on it, and it's so old, and it's the first alt art set. So it's still not sold out on Pokemon Center, I believe. When it does, it'll go up in price, but still at a profit for this. And I love the fact that it's old, has that Sleeping Tyranitar, has more going for it. They may have printed it too much, supply and demand wise, since it's still available on Pokemon Center, but this stuff always dries up eventually, and then the market will get to where it needs to be. Got this Pikachu. I love it. I love the fact that you have all these Gen 1 Pokemon around in the same card. Drew 2, Roz, and then I got a PSA 10 as well. Up on that. Up on pretty much every PSA 10 Pokemon 151 card I got because I just invested at the right time in them. So there's been a boom since then. So everything is up. A lot of stuff is up over 100%, some 200%. So did very well at 151. Disney Lorcana. So this is the only first chapter booster box I have for Lorcana. I just got this one because at one point I was thinking maybe I'll buy one booster box of everything, but then I'm like, I don't want to stray too far from Pokemon, but I do believe that the first chapter booster boxes have amazing potential, and especially since they're getting older and there's been so many sets since then, I see that doing very well. Plus, it's freaking Disney. Like, how can you? We grew up with like all these characters. How can you even put a price on that? I feel like the first chapter will pop off huge in the future. Imagine you had a chance to go back in time and buy base set first edition. Like you do it. And so 20 years from now, 30 years from now, I feel like that's the way people will view first chapter. Time will tell, but definitely excited for that. Glaceon V, not my favorite of the Evolution designs, the V designs in that set, but still nice. Iono, I believe the biggest waifu in the era until you got to Twilight Masquerade. You got the Pikachu there. You got so much going for this card. So yeah, they bought a PSA 10 of that. It's gone up since then. Pikachu, I actually drew one of these shiny Pikachus. And aside from that, I actually bought one in PSA 10. It's around the same price I bought it for right now, but I expect to see it going up long term. Then we got more booster boxes. Even Darkness Ablaze proves that bad sets can go up. Vaporeon VMAX Premium Collection, that's the most expensive of the ones. I got 2 of those. Honestly, I feel like that's undervalued right now at 205. It's still grown since I got it, but I could see that growing a lot more, not just because it does have Evolving Skies and other good packs in there, but also because of the amazing Evolution, in this case Vaporeon card design. So definitely see that going up sooner than later. Okay, so we have Starmie V here. This card, I think it's a little over what I paid for it back in the day. And back in the day for me is like 6 months or so ago. But yeah, this just has huge potential. Not only is it 151 Pokemon, it's a Misty. It's amazing design. It's getting older. I see great things for this. This is a PSA 10. We have Obsidian Flames Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box. I was so lucky to see that they restocked this at one point, and then I'm like, no brainer. You got Charmander on the cover of it, popular Pokemon. All of these Obsidian Flames Elite Trainer boxes, all of the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes have been great investments. And this one with that promo of the Charmander that's been popping off, like I've seen sales over 1,400 Canadian. So yeah, I knew this was going to be a great investment. Got it for 77 Canadian per box. Now it's already at 210 Canadian per box. So we're approaching 3x gain. We're approaching 3x on that. Twilight Masquerade. There was not much hype for this set when it was coming out. People were not impressed. The pull rates seem to have really saved it, and that Greninja seemed to have grown on people. But at the time, I only got 2 booster boxes, opened one, and I left that one closed as I usually do. And so now that's grown. I paid 150 for it. Now it's at 211. So made gains on that one. But honestly, if I knew what was going to happen with it, I would have bought a case. If prices go down and it's available for me at 150 again, I probably will buy a case because that Greninja has grown on me. The pull rates are hard and they make the other cards valuable, including the Eevee, which is in that one. So honestly, this is one of those where, unlike Temporal Forces, unlike Paradox Rift, if this goes down to 150 Canadian, I will be buying a case of that. Heracross for Paldea Evolved. Again, just so much to love about Paldea Evolved. That one, I love Heracross. I remember watching him in the show. I think it's a great design. So I had to get that in PSA 10. Now here's my one and only Yu-Gi-Oh investment. So I bought this for 115 Canadian at the time. And the 2 of them, I was thinking of getting more, but then I'm like, I don't want to put too much into it. I could have almost doubled my money here at 211 already. It'll only go up from here, I believe. It's a reprinting, a special 25th anniversary reprinting of the original Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon booster box. So I mean, I could see big things for that. You got Mewtwo V-Star. Again, another example of Mewtwo battling Charizard, like that promo card, except this one is from a different perspective. And this one you have to draw. So this one in PSA 10, again, Crown Zenith, no-brainer to me. Dragonite V, now this is my only PSA 9, and I got it because during the Altart boom, this was, the PSA 9 was selling less than the raw. And I'm like, okay, if I could buy a PSA 9, crack it, sell it raw for more, like that's already a win. So I ended up getting a PSA 9 of that. I still have it in a PSA 9 container. But let's say if the disparity between raw and PSA 9 keeps growing, I'll just open it up, sell it as a raw one day if I don't keep it. So yeah, that's one thing. Silver Tempest booster box would have had a full case of this, but Pokemon Center started limiting orders to 4 boxes. So I could only get 4, and then I had one already. But yeah, this one's grown a lot since I bought it. I think on Pokemon Center it's like 186, so over $60 growth there. Sword and Shield Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. Bought 3, opened 1. Wish I didn't. Bought them for like 125, so these ones pretty much doubled already. Bought them from Walmart. Astral Radiance booster box. I believe in that one. Got a case of that at 186 Canadian, so that's already up a fair bit. Sylveon V, PSA 10. Love that card. All the evolutions are amazing, but this one's very cool. Again, Glaceon, probably one of my least favorite Vs. I love the VMAX, and we'll get to that, but yeah. War Turtle got a great deal on this card. More than doubled my money for a PSA 10 after the boom. So yeah, War Turtle is actually my favorite in the Squirtle line. I like him more than Blastoise even. So that was a no-brainer for me purchase. Brilliant Stars booster box. Again, believe in that one. Got a whole case at 186. And then you have almost $80 profit per booster box there. But yeah, like I said, I won't be talking so much about profits because I don't remember everything at the top of my head. But if you guys want a video of my best investment percentage gains versus my worst, let me know and then I can make that happen. Charizard V. Got this for like $200. Yeah, it looks amazing. This is a beautiful card. And whether it goes up or not, and it did obviously already, but I do not mind having this in my collection forever. So we'll see what happens with that one. Squirtle got a great deal, more than doubled up on Squirtle PSA 10, and then I have 3 raws of it. Evolving Skies Elite Trainer Box. This was one of my best plays. I noticed that Evolving Skies booster boxes, when they were around 500, 600 Canadian, they were going up so much, and the Elite Trainer boxes were so cheap. Like, you could get them for $100. So I stocked up. I got 10 of these. I got 9 of the ones with down here with Umbreon on it. And I got them for all around $100 Canadian. So amazing returns on these. I'm glad I pulled the trigger on them, because everyone was saying booster boxes are the way to go. Elite Trainer boxes, especially non-Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, not as good of an investment. But there was just such a discrepancy once the booster box took off that I knew this would eventually have to go up, and I was right quicker than I expected. So very glad I made those purchases. Hidden Fates Elite Trainer box. I feel like as a Pokemon investor / collector, we all want to have one of these. A very popular and expensive Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, and it has nowhere to go but up as more people open them up. Espeon V. Oh man, I'm losing my voice. I didn't expect to be talking so much in this video. I did not think it would be this long, but thank you for all of those still tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button if you're still here. Let me know in the comments what your favorite investment or favorite card or product that I have is and what kind of plays you're making. But Espeon V, I absolutely love this. I got it on PSA 10 and I got a raw. I love books personally. I love Espeon. I used to pick Espeon a lot during my Gen 2 games. This combines both. Amazing, beautiful design. It was I had to get it. Whether it goes up in price or not, and it probably will because it's an Evolving Skies, but I had to get it either way. Dragonair, got this for a great price. I think it was, even though those old cards, vintage, they don't seem to be going up as much as the new stuff is. But especially when I bought this, there just seemed to be such a lull in the vintage market that people were willing to pay to take less just to probably get rid of it and use that cash for something else. So I believe I got this PSA 10 base set Dragonair for 150 bucks, and it's already at 281. So definitely bought it at the right time. Sleeping Raichu, got a PSA 10 of it, got 2 Raws. Big fan of popular sleeping Pokemon. Also big fan of Paldea Evolved, so expect good things from that. Charizard, PSA 10 Celebrations Collection. Obviously the most expensive when you look at Blastoise and Venusaur, but they're all worth having. Surging Sparks Booster Box. One of the most insane moments in my 1 year of Pokemon investing was buying these for around 150 Canadian per booster box, and it doubling this quickly. Like, what has it been, a few weeks since release, and already doubled in price? Like, I'm not gonna sell it. I'm a long-term investor. Looking at the frenzy of this set, if it goes down at some point with reprints to 150 again, I'll probably get another case and just sit on it. But man, I did not expect this. This is the first time I've seen anything like this in my year of investing in Pokemon. So very happy I pulled the trigger and got a case of these. Groudon PSA 10, my favorite Pokemon out of the Paradox Rift set. My favorite card. I got this before it was the number one card in the set. There was the Roaring something. I don't even remember the name of it. That's the thing. They change the names and then you don't even remember the name. But yeah, I knew Groudon was my favorite, and it eventually went up. Last time I checked, it was the number one card in that set. Not surprised. Glad I bought a PSA 10 when I did. So, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box, 151. Again, I wish I knew about Pokemon Center and I understood the market better when this came out, and I could have gotten 4 in a sealed case. I did not. But I knew Pokemon 151 was popular. I started to learn about Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. And so I ended up pulling the trigger at around 130 Canadian for one on eBay to have it in the collection. So it shows that even if you're buying secondary market, you can more than double your money on these investments with popular Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. So there you go. Bought for 130. It was originally 77. I clearly overpaid at that point, but then eventually it more than doubled to 313, and it's going to keep going up over the years. So you gotta consider, if you don't get in at the Pokemon Center level, it's not always a bad idea to buy from the secondary market. So Romance Dawn booster box, had to pull the trigger and just get one of these. I'm a big fan of One Piece. So yeah, this is more so just to have a part in the history of One Piece, and as that game grows, and I always wanted to have one of the first one. I didn't get the blue bottom, which is more expensive. It's like a first edition sort of thing, but I did get this white one, so I'm sure this will go up over the years as well. Rebel Clash booster box, from what I understand, terrible set. Again, this is way before me getting into investing, but I wanted to have at least one of every single Sword and Shield booster box. So I pulled the trigger at some point. I'm probably a bit up on my purchase, but yeah, not proud of having Rebel Clash necessarily, but proud of having one of every Sword and Shield booster box. We have Venusaur EX. I got all 3 in PSA 10. Venusaur might be the least expensive one here for 319, but still huge gain since I bought it. Chilling Reign booster box. I got 12 of these because I got when it was already sold on Pokemon Center, there was a place I could get it for 200 a box, and I just knew there's no ceiling when it sells out on Pokemon Center. So I kept buying well over 50% up on every single one of the booster boxes. Very happy with Chilling Reign so far. And again, I do feel like these booster boxes have potential to get to 1,000 plus Canadian dollars like Unified Minds did. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that climb. Have 3 151 Ultra Premium collections. Opened up a lot. Don't regret it because it helped me complete the Master Set. I actually got pretty lucky with drawing Charizard and like the big cards. But glad I kept 3 sealed. Bought for max $200 Canadian. Probably at some point less. And right now it's 323, so up over 50% on each one of those. Evolving Skies Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box. Got 2 of these on the secondary market for less than $200. So again, these are up more than 50% from when I got them. Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic. Besides the Japanese Pokemon 151, this is by far my worst investment for sealed products. Yeah, what's more to be said? I misread the situation. I thought, okay, expensive product, feeding into the nostalgia of the first generation, the base set. But one of the things you don't have is you don't have the gambling aspect that people do like of having packs and not knowing what you're going to get. That might have hurt it, and they might have printed more than I expected them to print. So, yeah, so far, did not do good on these. But again, I'm not selling. And even with the Pokemon 151 Japanese, I'm not selling. At some point, it may well get to the point where it's over 300 that I paid for the Japanese Pokemon 151, and eventually these Pokemon Trading Card Game Classics sealed will probably rise over the amount I paid. But for now, in my 1 year of Pokemon investing, those were my 2 big losses in terms of sealed product. Lost Origin Booster Box. Absolutely no-brainer play. I got them for 186 per booster box. Already at 334. Huge gains. Not selling anytime soon. Love the Giratina. Love the Pikachus we talked about. Love the Aerodactyl. There's so many good cards here, but even the Giratina alone, made by that same artist who did the Magikarp and now the Magneton, it's just, it's so good. Arguably the second best booster box of the Sword and Shield era. So yeah, it has a special place in my heart, and I'm not surprised to see it going up. Fusion Strike booster box. Probably a contender also for second best booster box. You have Gengar VMAX, huge, amazing card. You have Mew. You have the Espeon, the Sleeping Espeon VMAX to complete your Evolution Sword and Shield collection. You have the Celebi, which I think is underrated. A lot of good stuff. Honestly, that Mew VMAX, I'm not loving it. I love the normal Mew, and I think this one has huge potential. It's older than Lost Origin. I wouldn't be surprised if Lost Origin outpaces it at some point, but right now they're pretty close. Also got that for market price. Also got that for 186, so made very good profit on that. Blastoise EX, more expensive than the Venusaur. Made huge gains on this. Again, it's a no-brainer. 151 brings so many people back into the hobby. The designs, whatever you think, are better than the original base set designs. Like, more thought out, better technology at this point. Full card, right? Like, you could like the old school stuff. Yeah, it's cool, and it's going to be more expensive because it's so old and if you got them in good condition. But I personally much prefer these designs to the original designs of the cards. And then you have the original 3 and Evolution starters. So, yeah, picking these up was no-brainer for me. I didn't expect them to go up this much this quickly, but I would have gotten them either way, and I would have been fine with waiting for them to go up over the years because, again, these are the original 3. The Pokemon 151 was got so many people back into it. People have nostalgia for 151. They have nostalgia for base set, for the original Pokemon generation. I can't see these being a bad investment long term. Machamp V, 151, the best card in Astral Radiance. Had to get that at a certain point. And I would be down on some of them because I was buying as the alt art boom was happening. So I bought some before, bought some during. But I definitely wanted to get every best or best two cards in each of the alt art Sword and Shield sets. So at that point, I got Machamp 2, I got Aerodactyl V. I got a PSA 10 Meryl, which probably has no business being at 351 Canadian, but it's because Paldea Evolved is such a good set. They have such hard pull rates for all the alt art, for not the alt arts, the illustration rares. So for that reason, it is selling for a good price right now. We'll see if that lasts, but again, if Paldea Evolved gets out of print, they stop restocking, these cards could just keep going up. We'll see what happens. Galarian Moltres V, beautiful card. Had to get that. Second most popular in Chilling Reign. Tyranitar V, the first of the Sword and Shield alt art chases, plus again sleeping Pokemon, sleeping OP Pokemon. So I have a lot of faith in this card to the point where you got a PSA 10 and a raw of it. A raw or just a PSA 10 wasn't enough, clearly. Then, surprisingly, for now, I don't know if in the short term this will continue to be the case, but the Godzilla Tyranitar for Paldea Evolved, despite being newer, is more expensive in a PSA 10 than the Sleeping Tyranitar V. They're close, to be fair, but Paldea Evolved just keeps impressing. Charizard EX, I got two of these when it was cheaper. I got two of these in PSA 10. One raw I just bought on the second-hand market. And yeah, so far I'm happy with this. I believe it has a lot more room to grow as time goes on and we leave behind the Scarlet and Violet era. I think people underestimate how good this Charizard is. Here we go, Lurkana First Chapter Booster Box. Here, similar to the Japanese Pokemon 151, I bought these overpriced at the time for over $300. Now, there was a lot of time when it dipped below or close to that amount that I bought it for. But luckily now, and hopefully they won't be restocking or reprinting again since it's so old at this point. Luckily now I'm well in the positive, and hopefully it'll continue to be that way. Umbreon V, this one I may have even lost money on because I got caught in the hype of the time. But long term, I think all of these evolutions, especially from Evolving Skies, are great investments. Sylveon VMAX, doing great. Charizard V. Everyone says this one's underrated, and I have to agree. The YouTubers say this one's underrated, but I have to agree. You have Charizard, you have Venusaur, you have the only alt art of Charizard you could draw in the Sword and Shield era. A lot of reasons to like this card, having a PSA 10. Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection. Bought this. Hasn't really moved much since I bought it. Might even be down a bit. But long term, I have high hopes for this, especially when the 30th anniversary comes around soon. This was the 25th anniversary. You have that Metal Charizard. They didn't print a lot of them. So I have high hopes for Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection. Might be a good time to get in if you really wanted one, because it has dipped below what I bought it for. I bought it for around 500 Canadian. Sword and Shield Booster Box. Again, it's gone up since I bought it. I wanted to get this not because I like the set, but because I wanted one of every Sword and Shield Booster Box at least. So I pulled the trigger on that. Can't hurt to just sit on sealed product. You got Glaceon VMAX here. Let's speed it up a bit because I feel like we're going for a long time here, but made good money on this one. Evolving Skies, Evolution. You have Pikachu in this one. Great design. A lot to love there. Pikachu, one of my biggest individual card losses. I bought this for like 700 something. And it fell. At some point, it was like 300 something. Luckily, it's going back up. But Master Ball, Pikachu, and PSA 10. Yeah, honestly, not big loss for one of my biggest losses. Not that bad. Leafeon VMAX. A lot to love here. People think it's really cute. I would probably, if you're just asking me, I would rate the Glaceon VMAX above the Leafeon, especially because it has that Pikachu there. but people just love this Leafeon. It's super cute rolling the hay. So yeah, it's a winner. It's the second most expensive card, I believe. Evolution. There's also the Rayquaza in VMAX in Evolving Skies, as if you needed more hits. But yeah, among the evolutions in Evolving Skies, I think this is the second most expensive card. Eevee Heroes Booster Box. I don't think it's gone up a lot in price since I bought it, but again, this was when I was buying some Japanese, like the 151. Didn't get burned on this one nearly as badly as I did on the 151 Japanese booster boxes. But I wanted to get just one because Evolving Skies was such a big set in Canada and like in the West, but in Japan too. And I remember at one point, I'm not sure if it still is, the Japanese Umbreon VMAX was worth more than the English one in PSA 10. So I just thought it can't hurt buying Eevee Heroes booster box. I think it will go up long term, and I just love having it. Period. So base set booster pack, this did go up. I bought it for I believe like $450. And yeah, now it's $561. So now since I learned more about it, I don't know if I would buy a booster pack from base set because the older stuff hasn't seemed to be growing as much, like the vintage stuff. While the new stuff obviously has a lot of room to grow. But to be fair, the stuff I did buy, like the Dragonair and this pack, booster pack, they have gone up in price. So what do I know? Maybe vintage still has a place in your investing portfolio. Espeon VMAX, love this card. Second most expensive from the Fusion Strike. And yeah, here you have a lot of people like it. Again, it's a sleeping Pokemon. You need it to complete your VMAX Evolutions collection. So for that reason, I had to get it. Also, second, like I said, I want the first and second, unless the second card is really bad, of every Alt-Art Sword and Shield set. Then you have the Charizard EX from Paldea Evolved. Paldean Fates. And yeah, Paldean Fates, amazing. Like I said, this, when I bought it, was the more expensive of the two. Bubble Mew wasn't far behind, but Bubble Mew this one has grown, and also the Bubble Mew has grown since then. The Bubble Mew especially. Hopefully Bubble Mew doesn't pop, but we'll see. Blaziken VMAX. I think this has for a while been underrated. Now I think it's going up in price again, but yeah, there isn't a lot in PSA 10 compared to how much of some other cards in the Sword and Shield era there's a PSA 10, and it's just Blaziken. It's a Chilling Reign. I love the juxtaposition between like this final evolution fire starter. No, let me say that again. This final evolution starter of a fire type Pokemon in this set that's surrounded by winter and snow. It works very well. Plus, I think it's a great card that's really using the VMAX dynamic well to create an interesting story and picture. Lugia V, just amazing. Just the mythical, it captures that. Amazing art. Lugia is a fan favorite Pokemon. I think this has a lot of room to grow, especially when Silver Tempest starts selling out of the Pokemon Center. Unfortunately, because they made it from 6 and you can get a case, they limit it to 4 booster boxes per Pokemon Center thing. So I think it just slowed down quickly how much people are buying it. But hey, it will sell out eventually. And right now, I see this being a good investment, and I think it'll go up a lot more over the years. Another huge gains that I've seen was on this Charizard from 151. Now it's, if you can believe it, almost 800 Canadian in PSA 10. And then I also have 2 Raws, which are actually, last time I checked, over 250 Canadian both. So yeah, that card's taken off, whether you like it or not. And I do like that it tells that story from the Charmander, Charmeleon, then Charizard escapes the valley and starts flying. Very cool. Bubble Mew, I think, took us all by surprise. Everyone was assumed the Charizard would be the most expensive card, and it was for a while. I needed to get this card because I loved it. I loved the illustrations. I loved the Gen 1 Pokemon on it. I love Mew. Shiny Mew as a whole different thing because you don't see a blue Mew a lot, especially a illustration rare of it. And so I knew I had to get it. Did not expect it to go this well this quickly, but I'm not complaining. This is one of the this is when we start getting to more bigger plays, bigger investments. Although to be fair, it was nowhere near this price when I bought in. So I bought 5 PSA 10 Pikachu Pokemon Center exclusives. Why? Because they have less than 400 in PSA 10 condition. Hopefully they don't restock or reprint those Elite Trainer boxes with the Pokemon Center stamps on them. And if they don't, I just feel like people will realize how scarce these cards are, how good they are. Because, like I said, Paldea Evolved, amazing set. This Pikachu, arguably the most popular Pokemon with all 3 starters, beautiful design, has that exclusive stamp, wasn't good quality control, so a lot of them don't make PSA 10. I just feel like this card, even I feel like I bought the first one at like $200, and now it's already more than 4x. So yeah, a lot of potential here. Already grew a lot, but I think it has more room to grow, especially when we start looking at what the Charmander is doing from Obsidian Flames. Okay, so we have Unbroken Bonds booster box here. I told you guys I wanted one of every Sword and Shield booster box. I did that. I'm getting every Scarlet and Violet booster box. I already have them, and I'm going to get the ones that come out later. But I figured out at some point that, hey, these last 4 Sun and Moon booster boxes were also considered as having alt arts. Those tag team cards also are alt arts. So I'm like, I want to have every alt art booster box. And so that's why I ended up getting all 4 of them. And you'll see how the price varies, but they've all done amazing. Imagine you can get them for 150 Canadian back in the day. Now the cheapest one's almost 1,000 on Broken Bonds. I, at one point, pulled the trigger on the Greninja EX recently because it's already up since I bought it. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of this card when it came out, but the market has spoken. Not only has it not dipped, it's gone from strength to strength, and it's been 6 months or more since it came out. So I honestly see great things in the future for the Greninja PSA 10. One of the biases I have is that the Greninja wasn't the Pokemon I watched growing up. It came after I stopped watching Pokemon. So I don't have personally that attachment I have to like Charizard or something, but it's clear that he is a popular Pokemon. Greninja is a popular Pokemon. It's a great design. It's rare, and he looks like a king sitting on his throne. And this card was king for a while for sure. We'll see what happens with the Pikachu and the rest of the era. But at one point, this was the most expensive card, and you can honestly see why when you look at it. Unified Minds booster box, almost $1,050. Made money on. It's hard to lose money, honestly, on booster boxes if you don't get them very early on. Once they start going up, it's pretty hard to lose money on them. Rayquaza VMAX, I got a VMAX version and a raw version, up on both of them. Not surprising. This is honestly, if this was any other set, you could definitely see this being the number 1 chase card, but because of that Moonbreon, it had competition. But honestly, amazing, top chase worthy card right there. We have Gengar VMAX. There we go. We have the Charmander Pokemon Center exclusive. And like I said, now it's listed here as the current price being $1,138 Canadian. I got 2 in PSA 10. The cheapest I bought for around like between 300 and 400, so made very good return on that. And as well, I seen a sale recently for over 1,400 Canadian. So this, again, limited supply, even less of these than the Pikachu. Already seeing these kinds of numbers. When people realize how scarce it is, I feel like it could just keep going up. Evolving Skies booster box, I got 2, more than doubled my money on them. No surprise there. Great set. And with time, not even much time, it's grown a lot. Cosmic Eclipse booster box, I've heard it's a great set. Grown since I invested in it. Like I said, no matter what the price was, I wanted to get each of the alt arts. And here, I definitely pulled the trigger on this a while ago. This Magikarp. Again, same guy who did the Giratina. They're next to each other. It's fitting. You have this Magikarp. I got it when it was like in the 500s Canadian. it's tripled my money. A Magikarp, and I freaking love it. I love the design. I love the Gyarados on top, if you notice. It's so beautiful. You could tell that this guy, this artist that does the Giratina, did the Magikarp, is something special. And it's possible that just because of the hype of these two cards, all other cards done by him, full art cards, will be popular as well, like the Magneton with the Pokemon Center stamp, right? You're combining the Pokemon Center stamp with this artist, with the 151 Pokemon. Like, again, you can just invest off of that at this point. The problem is the market's starting to figure it out, and that stuff is now, the Magneton PSA 10 is very expensive. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets more expensive over the long run. I haven't pulled the trigger and gotten one myself because of the high numbers right now. But again, the artist, a great set, the Pokemon Center stamp, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat that. It has a lot of stuff going for it. Of course, you got the Moonbreon, which I thought I overpaid for when I paid like 1,000 Canadian for it. And now it's almost tripled. No matter how many of these are around in PSA 10, because the quality control was good here, there's like 14,000 around. And yet there are way more people who want them than 14,000, right? So if there's millions of people who want 14,000 of something, price is going to go up. It's going to go high, and it just keeps going to the moon, pun intended, and we'll see what happens. I'm not selling this. I think it has a lot of room to grow over the years. And then Team Up Booster Box, again, was very expensive when I bought it for like less than $3,000. Now it's already grown to 3,500. Bought it less because it was a great investment, more to just have it, but glad to see that I already made $500 on it. And besides that, like I said, I needed to get every alt art, every tag team set, and this one specifically is the cream of the crop. It's considered the best. That is my most expensive item. Anyways, that is it, guys. If you actually made it all the way to the end, props. I'm surprised. I didn't think this video would be this long. But thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, give me ideas for future videos you want. And whatever happens, I plan to make updates to this. Like if in 1 month things change a lot, I may make an update on this portfolio in 1 month. But I'm very excited about 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years to see how this Pokemon stuff, when you don't touch it, when you just leave it and let it grow, how it does, what products perform the best. And you'll find out with me as we discover that. But that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.